Hey, this is Fish on a Heater, and today we are going to take a look at an interesting pick for Prismatic Cup. It's one that's not like in the super top meta, but also not like a fringe pick. It's got some real handy use, and it is. I mean, you know what it is. You clicked on the video. It's Shiftry. So what we have been doing is all this month we've been going through some of these picks for the cup and shining a spotlight on them, taking a look at individual matchups and seeing what kind of teams you can put them with. For the first few videos, I have been asking people to comment with any suggestions they might have for Pokemon that they might want us to cover. And one of the suggestions, very excited suggestion, was Shiftry, and I absolutely love this idea. It's a really interesting Pokemon to take a look at. If you like what you are about to see, you don't have to make a decision right now. You can wait till you see it and then decide if you like it. But if you do like it, really quick, easy thing you can do to help out is to click the like button, and that one motion will be enough to help the video get discovered by more people, and that means, you know, the channel grows and makes it more worthwhile to do these videos and keep on pumping out that content. And also throw in your own suggestions if you've got some. Anyway, let's take a look at. So I've gone through kind of the top most used Pokemon for Prismatic Cup and taken a look at Shiftry against those Pokemon. After we go through those, you know, most popular picks, and we'll take a look at those teams that you can put it with and take a look at some example battles. The first one is Hypno. Hypno, the most popular Pokemon in Prismatic Cup. Now, PvPoke recommends running it with Thunder Punch. I have personally found I prefer it with Ice Punch, and some people are doing one, some people are doing the other. If your opponent's Hypno or opposing Hypno is running Thunder Punch, then you've got nothing to worry about. You will win every shield scenario with Thunder Punch. If they are running Ice Punch, where is it there? It's a little bit dicier. You're losing the 0-1 and the 0-2, so you're in a bit of a dicey situation when you down shields. A single Ice Punch will do 45% damage, so that plus the confusions in between, two Ice Punches plus the confusions in between will actually be enough to KO your Shiftry. So watch out for the Ice Punch. I would probably, if they build up to 4 confusions and then fire, I would probably shield first just to be safe, because I don't expect many people to be running double punch. So I think the safest option there is if they fire 4 confusions and then fire and it turns out to be Thunder Punch, then you're just fine to not shield anything else for the rest of that matchup. Next is Talonflame, and I mean, we all know that's what you're worried about when you're bringing in Shiftry, isn't it? It's a Talonflame. However, it's not the worst thing in the world matching your Shiftry up against a Talonflame. Now, that looks bad. Interestingly, you are already winning from a standing start. You are winning the 1-0 and the 2-0. Unfortunately, the only way you are ever at a completely standing start is, well, there's 2 situations. One is in the lead, where, you know, both players throw out their first Pokemon. And the second situation is if both Pokemon faint at the same time and both trainers happen to throw out a new Pokemon. That's when that's the other situation where it's a standing start. So I don't think in that first situation, the lead situation, the Talonflame's probably going to shield. You really shouldn't expect them to just let the Talonflame go at that point. However, if you are in a situation later in the battle, what are we doing here? Where the Shiftry gets matched up with the Talonflame, and you've got 3 Snarls of energy. So that gives you enough for a Leaf Blade. You need 1 more for a Foul Play. Suddenly, that's looking much better. You're winning every 0 shield situation. You're winning the 1-1, and you're winning the 2-1. It's even better if you can optimize your move timing. So Incinerate takes 5 turns to run, Snarl takes 3. I believe in this situation, it's just throwing some of these charge moves and allowing Talonflame to tap and get another Incinerate, which is a big deal because these Incinerates are doing, look at that, 32, that's a boosted one, 26 damage. Each Incinerate is doing 26 damage to a Shiftry. So, I mean, everything else aside, that tells me you do not want to stay in this battle for long. You want it to be over fast. Because, like, yeah, what is that? Like, that's 6. That's 6 Incinerates. Yeah, we'll KO a Shiftry. So, what you can do is... actually, it seems to already be doing it here. Let's see if I can find something else. 0-0. What's happening with that one? Okay, so in this situation here, you know what I needed to do to get this? So this is let's pretend we've got 4 Snarls. So we've got a Foul Play ready. It is ready to fire as soon as that Talonflame comes in. In this scenario, the Foul Play is being fired at the same time as Talonflame taps for an Incinerate, and that goes through. So even though, yes, 2 Foul Plays will be enough, 2 Foul Plays plus the Snarls in between will be enough to KO the Talonflame, you're still taking 26, 52, 78 damage. That's half your damage. But if you don't fire immediately, you throw the Snarl first, and then at this next one, you fire the Foul Play. They're still getting that 1 Incinerate in, but you've got an extra Snarl there, which means you're getting to your next Foul Play sooner, and you've only taken 2 Incinerates. They try and fire the third one, but you've fired your Foul Play and you cancel out the damage from that Incinerate. So suddenly you're going from 78 damage taken to 52. And look at that, you're still in the green there. So that makes a big difference. Be mindful of that. Lantern, you can probably guess what the deal is with Lantern. Let's bring that back to 0. So 2 Leaf Blades will be enough to KO a Lantern, so just be mindful. You do need 2 of them. If you are already low on HP, or if they've got an energy lead on their Lantern when you bring in your Shiftry, then it's not as surefire a thing. But, you know, all things being as expected, you're going to take care of that Lantern just fine in 2 Leaf Blades. Hydro Pump will still do 51% damage to your Shiftry, so do be mindful of that. If you are in the yellow, you'll not survive a Hydro Pump. Quagsire is exactly the same. Stone Edge is doing 55% damage, so slightly more, but it's in practical terms, it's doing the same thing. It still takes 2 Stone Edges to take you out. They're not going to feint you with their fast move, and again, the only difference is it only takes 1 Leaf Blade to take out the Quagsire, so that's slightly easier. But again, if they manage to land 2 Stone Edges, then that'll flip that matchup. So be mindful of that. What have we got next? We've got Drifblim. And Drifblim's an interesting one, because a Foul Play is going to hurt a Drifblim, and an Icy Wind's going to hurt a Shiftry. Luckily for Shiftry, it has the better of the situation. So 71% from a Foul Play, Icy Wind only doing 57%. And so even with an attack drop, you're still KOing them with 2 Foul Plays. Also, with the advantage of Snarl against the Drifblim's Hex, you're doing super effective damage to them with your fast moves. They're doing resisted damage to you with their fast moves. So 11 damage per snarl is huge for a move that just is not known for its damage. Doing 11 damage it adds up very, very much. So you could even, well, you can see it here that you're hitting him with a foul play and then farming down. Even though you get hit with an icy wind, you've still got let's say a quarter of your HP left, and that was the 0-0. You can see here you're winning every shield situation. Let's go to the 1-1. So even with 2 debuffs, you're still managing to hit him for 9 damage with every snarl, and you can farm down there with 3 more snarls. Let me test this one out. Never mind. I was gonna say if you hit him with a foul play and then try and farm down from there. But yeah, like it's if you do hit him with a foul play, you don't even get to the next charge move. You don't have the option of farming down and trying to build up energy for the next Pokemon. So I use the rank 1 Pokemon here by default. So the exact numbers might vary in your battle, probably will vary in your battle, but keep in mind it's going to be around about 11 damage per snarl for the first one. Once you've been debuffed, it'll be about 9, and then if you get debuffed a second time, it will be 8. Right, Snorlax. Snorlax is, as we know, a beefy boy. 192 stamina in Great League, which is a lot. It takes 3 Leaf Blades to drop a Snorlax. If the Snorlax has superpowered and is lower on defense, that may drop it to 2 Leaf Blades that you need, but it's not a guarantee. Essentially, Snorlax does have the upper hand in this matchup. If Shiftry can shield twice, then it'll get off enough Leaf Blades. Other than that, Snorlax is good. However, if you manage to call a Body Slam bait, then that flips a lot of those matchups. The Body Slam's doing 39% damage. The Superpower's doing 73. That is a high enough number for the licks to kind of add up and kind of finish the job, I guess. You can survive getting hit by a Body Slam, and if you do manage to call that, if you let through a Body Slam and then manage to shield the Superpower later, that does flip some of those matchups. Probopass is an interesting one. Probopass is something that a few people have been bringing in to counter things like your Talonflame in particular. It takes 3 Leaf Blades. So I think that was the same as Snorlax. Three Leaf Blades to take out a Probopass. Rock Slide from Probopass, 43% damage, but with the sparks in between, it'll only take 2 Rock Slides plus the sparks to take out a Shiftry. So that kind of puts the advantage on Probopass. So Shiftry is winning more situations than not. If you've got a Leaf Blade ready, though, against that Probopass, so that's 3 Snarls, you're winning a lot more comfortably. Interestingly, here's the thing I found out. So if you have the 3 Snarls of energy lead, then you're quite comfortable against a Probopass, but it takes you're obviously still losing the 0-1 and the 0-2. It takes a lot to flip those. So if we give it an extra couple of Snarls, there you are managing to flip that 1-0. This one here is a tough nut to crack. Look at this. We give it a couple of extra. It's on 91 energy. That's 2 full Leaf Blades and then plenty more. You're still not flipping it. If we get it up to 100 energy, there you're finally flipping that matchup. Not really information that's going to help you out, but keep it in the back of your head. It might be something that helps in one of your tournaments at some point. Flygon. Flygon is practically fairly similar to Shiftry in that it's high attack, glassy, weak to ice, and firing off its charge moves like it's no one's business. So it only takes 4 mud shots to get to a Dragon Claw. That's 8 turns. That is so fast. That is the fastest. Yeah, that it's the fastest you can get to a charge move in Pokemon Go. In Pokemon Go PvP is for 8 turns. Now, this thing auto defaulted to Earth Power. You might see some Earth Power Flygon, but I think most people are going to be running Stone Edge. So, that was with 100 energy. Let's delete that. Now, so in this chart here, Shiftry is winning more matchups. I had to count that. More shield scenarios than Flygon. The 1-1 is the kind of standard that we measure these matchups by, because most often you'll spend 1 shield on a Pokemon. It's rarer to spend both shields on a Pokemon than it is to just spend 1, and it's also rarer to go no shield. So we kind of go by the 1 shield. So that to me kind of says the Flygon has the preferable matchup. However, 1 snarl of difference will flip that. And I mean, just looking at that just feels so much nicer to look at. Just having that 1 snarl of energy difference. There is a catch to that though. Just making sure I'm on the right shield scenario. If Flygon wants to optimize its charge move timing, that flips it back into its own favor. And so what does that mean? Well, it takes 4 mud shots to get to that Dragon Claw, and 3 snarls to get to a Leaf Blade. 3 snarls is going to take 9 turns, and as I mentioned before, it's 8 turns to get to a Dragon Claw. If Flygon gets to that Dragon Claw and then fires 1 more mud shot, it gets kind of the second turn of that mud shot for free, because say the Shiftry is getting to the 3rd snarl and then firing the Leaf Blade. That allows the Flygon to finish the mud shot that it would have started on the 9th turn. I hope that makes sense. So it's now 1 mud shot closer to the next Dragon Claw, and that now enables it to just spit those out even faster. So yeah, be wary of move timing. The thing you can do as the Shiftry owner to help counteract that, I guess, is you win CMP there. 132 to 126, meaning that if the Flygon tries to keep charging until you throw, and then throw at the same time as you will win that. So you can potentially use that to your advantage in the course of the battle. Now, that could take any number of forms, so I can't really go through them here. Just keep that in mind. A couple more. Gliscor is interesting, because you would think, being a flying Pokemon and having that wing attack, that it's just all over for Shiftry. But having the ground typing as well means those Leaf Blades are neutral, and the charge moves are both resisted, which makes a big difference. Earthquake, which is, Earthquake will do Earthquake will do 81% damage to a Lantern, but it's only doing 50% to a Shiftry. Okay, so this is the one shield. Shiftry has that one. Let's see. Leaf Blade is doing 42%. So again, I have checked this. I'm not just guessing. Two Leaf Blades plus the snarls in between will be enough to KO. 4 damage per snarl. So by the time you get off 2 Leaf Blades, that's 6 snarls, 24 extra damage. And the Glass Cord isn't particularly chunky, so 24 damage is a fair amount. Mainly the thing with that one is that you just don't want this, like the Talonflame, the longer you're in that matchup, the worse it is for the Shiftry. Because those wing attacks just add up. You can see here, if Glasscourt wants to use 2 shields, there's nothing Shiftry can really do. The final one that I wanted to take a look at before we get into some battles is Ferrothorn. And this one's pretty good for Shiftry. If Ferrothorn is running Thunder, you're fine. A Power Whip is doing 36% damage. Thunder's doing 34%, so that's... so it's going to take 3 Power Whips to finish that off, because those Bullet Seeds aren't going to make up that difference. I didn't actually check this. What happens if we try not to bait? What if we just go straight Foul Play? We are still winning all those situations. Now, something like this one might be IV dependent. How much HP do we have left? We've got 7 HP. So you're probably going to win that with most IV spreads, sorry. But if you don't have a high ranking one, it'll be very close. Too close for comfort. And if you've kind of taken like 1 fast move damage from the previous Pokemon, then you're probably in trouble there. But that's a bit of a fringe case. That's specifically in the 0-1 scenario. You can run, the moral there is you can run straight Foul Play against a Thunder Ferrothorn. Flash Cannon, I don't think will be as common, but you could see it. And looks like, which ones are we dropping here? I think let me go back to Thunder so I can remember which ones we were winning and losing there. Okay, so you're against Thunder, you're losing the 0-2 and the 1-2. Got that? Cool. And now we're losing. Now, remember what the Thunder one was losing? Anyone? The 0-2 and the 1-2. So Flash Cannon does gain the 2-2, interestingly, and the 0-1. So that would be that one would be the 2-2 would be purely bait dependent. If we told Ferrothorn not to bait as well, then there we go. That is well in Shiftry's favor. Flash Cannon is doing the job against a shieldless Shiftry. So doing 78% damage. Oh, sorry, 70.8% damage. And then the Power Whip doing 36. So you can just hit him with a Flash Cannon and then a Power Whip. So as long as if they try and run straight Flash Cannon in the 2 shield, then they've got no hope. If they do try and bait, and you call that bait in the 2-2, I imagine you'll be fine. So if we go Sandbox, let's not shield this first one. And then we've got a shield to spend over here. And we've got the Foul Play ready. And ba-bam. You win that one as well. So yeah, that one's good for Shiftry. Now let's take a look at some teams. So 3 teams that I've kind of put together. Like these trios that I do are just kind of suggestions that pop into my head, and I decide to try them out. So don't look at these as like this is the Pokemon you have to put with Shiftry. They're intended to get the ideas flowing. The first team that I went with was Shiftry, Whimsicott, and Empoleon. So this team has multiple ABB lines, depending on what you expect your opponent to bring. So you could go, like if you expect fighters, you can put the Whimsicott at the front, and then have the Shiftry and the Empoleon at the back. You switch into, if you lose the Whimsicott lead, you switch into one of those 2 other Pokemon, and you draw out their fighter, then you can take it out with the Whimsicott. Or there's 2 grasses there, so if you expect them to rely on their Lantern or Quagsire, you can lead with the Empoleon and use the Shiftry and the Whimsicott in the same way. So yeah, there's a couple of different ABB lines that you can go with. Let's see how this battle went. I'd like to thank Lilybear as my battle partner for these ones, and I mean, fantastic lead. Now, I think I had a problem with this battle because I did not know how much energy Ember produces. So let me just find that out. Not Rainy Castform. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can go XL or non-XL, doesn't matter. Ember produces 6 energy per move. Cool. Keep that in mind. Because how much has it already shown us? 1, 2, so just 2. So it's got 12 energy. Now we've discussed the Shiftry, the better option here. Whimsicott can beat Ferrothorn with 2 shields, I believe, but I mean, Shiftry does better, so may as well use that one. I mean, that I think my Shiftry is not very high ranked, so I think it might even be in the 4 figures. I'm going to quickly take a look at that. Oh, good, my game's loading. In the meantime, let's keep watching this. So I think that, yeah, my Shiftry has a lot less bulk than like a rank 1 Shiftry, so those Power Whips are actually doing enough. Like, I'm going to have to shield the next one. We're going to find out. Yeah, my Shiftry is rank 1,509 with IVs of 14, 14, 14. So, I don't recommend going in with that. Ooh, okay, here's an interesting one. How much does Leaf Blade do? If you get to that point where it's in the red, like, will a Leaf Blade be enough? Because Leaf Blade will be double resisted. It's doing 14% damage, so that's a bit of a close call, but you do get to farm down afterwards. So if they're not close enough to a charge move, then you can feel safe throwing the Leaf Blade, probably won't KO, and then farming down the rest with the Snarl. I ended up throwing the Leaf Blade anyway. It's important with these ABB lines that you win switch advantage. So I knew she had Castform. I need to make sure that Empoleon comes back in against the Castform. I can't afford to lose the matchup and then have to decide which one I'm going to send out in the open where it can be, crushed out of Whimsicott or Empoleon. So happy to spend the shield there. That, of course, the Shiftry goes way down. Now, this is where not knowing the energy amounts came to bite me in the butt. So it's it had 2 embers worth once it switched out. Yep, come on. Alright, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 36 energy. And it throws straight away. Please don't shield. Please don't shield. Okay. But I'm probably going to have to shield the next one. I don't know if that was the best move, because, like, Whimsicott can do some work there. Like, it would take some damage, but it would also be able to feint that cast form and get it out of the way. And she kept her shield, which is fantastic, and then Celio in the back. Unlucky. Couldn't guess her team. So that's just going to body slam me down. If I could get to a grass knot, that would have changed things, but I couldn't. Okay. So I still like the idea of the line having all the ABB possibilities, but the main reason it didn't work there is because, like, it's more advisable to use an ABB line when you have a better idea of what to expect against your opponent, where I just told Lilybeth just send in a whole bunch of different Pokemon against me, and we didn't coordinate beforehand. So the next team that I want to run is Shiftry, Gliscor, and Lantern. The reason is, so the Gliscor can cover the fire and fighting types that threaten Shiftry. Lantern can cover the ice and fire types that will threaten Shiftry. So it's 2 Pokemon two bodyguards, essentially, to the things that are weak to Shiftry. Let's see how that went. Alright, now, we studied this one before. We had to work out that we have to call the bait. Full disclosure, I did these battles and recorded them before actually doing all the work of looking up the specific matchups to their granular level. So I didn't know any of this at the time, so I'm just guessing. So I don't know here that I've got to... Yeah, see, that would have made a huge difference if I hadn't shielded that. And you might have noticed that I also tried to switch out to catch the body slam because I knew it was coming. In the end, I'd already spent 1 shield. I wasn't going to try and catch again and risk that failing. So I just ended up switching out into the Gliscor. And this is, if you watched our video on Drifblim, you would know that this is a very favourable situation for Drifblim, even though we do have the super effective Night Slash. We do get to that second Night Slash, which is a big deal, because now she has to either shield or lose that Pokemon. Oh, well, actually, no, because I'd been debuffed there, so the Drifblim probably would have survived. So she didn't need to use that shield. Okay, what should I bring out here? So we've seen Snorlax. We've seen Drifblim. We don't know what the third Pokemon is. Now, if we had access to their line of 6, then we could probably make an educated guess, but we don't. This is just blind. I guess this kind of depends on how much energy this Drifblim's got. So I'm going to say, if I remember rightly, it fired straight away as soon as it had that. Then 1, 2, and that's a third one as well. So it got through 3 hexes.
And now we go down. So Icy Wind. How much was that doing again? That it was like 50 something percent. I'm gonna take off sandbox mode because that annoys me. Yeah, 57%. So we do survive an Icy Wind if we're Shiftry. And how much energy did we have on that thing? So I think it's still taking 3 leaf blades to get to the, or four snarls to get to the foul play. That's what I'm looking for. So it's not looking good for Shiftry. I think Lantern is definitely the better option there. Let's see if I make that choice. I do. Oh no, no, no. Okay, I thought I shielded this for a second. Oh, okay, that is 5 hexes, but the Thunderbolt should KO them from there. Now, still having the shield in hand is big. And Crustle. Oh, now this is interesting. Okay, so a superpower from Snorlax is more or less going to KO us. Like, yeah, it's going to take us with the amount of HP that Snorlax had left. I don't think it had lost much from memory, so it's still going to take us, I think, 3 Leaf Blades to take out that Snorlax. But then, like, if we need to get to a Hydro Pump against this Crustle. Otherwise, you know, it gets to those X-Scissors too fast, and X-Scissor does just so much damage to Shiftry, being double weak to it. So, really shouldn't use the shield here, is what I've decided. Which, great. And there's the Hydro Pump. So, doing well. So now it is up to Shiftry with a shield against this Snorlax. Oh, what are we talking about? That Snorlax had so little HP left. I thought it was still in the green. Still well into the green. And bam. The Leaf Blade finishes it off. Which, as we determined, a Leaf Blade on a defense dropped Snorlax is doing 45% damage. So if that Snorlax has superpowered once already, then you can actually KO it from just below the yellow point. So that was battle number 2, team number 2. Here's team number 3, Shiftry, Ninetales, and Dugong, and that was just something I wanted to try because the Ninetales and the Dugong are much more neutral counters against the things that would typically counter Shiftry. And when I say counters, like, counters probably isn't even the best word, because, like, Talonflame. This team's not going to do very well against Talonflame. What else? Fighters. Ninetales does alright against fighters, particularly when it's running Psyshock. You know, looking at this team, I'm not a fan, to be perfectly honest. Let's see if I do get the win with it or not. So that is the worst possible Pokemon that I could have seen with this line of 3. The Rock Slide doing super effective damage against the Ninetales and the Dugong, and the counter doing super effective against the Shiftry and the Dugong. That's almost game over right there. But we'll give it a go. It is also resisting the fire spins. Also, this is a situation where I did not want to use a TM to get Psyshock on. I was running Overheat for Vortex Cup, and it worked quite well for me. I'm very low on TM, so I didn't want to spend it to give it the Psyshock that it needed. But now this is perfect. They switch into Lantern, we switch into the Shiftry, and now we don't want to spend our shields because we know that Sudowoodo is in the back. As we said, the counter is good against the Shiftry and the Dugong, whereas the Rock Slide is good against the Ninetales and the Dugong. We're using our Shiftry here, which means that once the Shiftry is kind of it's done, it's spent, it's done its job. Ninetales and Dugong are left, and so that makes Rock Slide more of a threat to us than counter, which means we want to keep these shields as much as we can. Too bad we have already spent a shield on the Ninetales against the Sudowoodo. That means Lilybear has to use one of her shields, at least one of her shields, to get us back into it. Now, I do remember this one. A Hydro Pump does do 50% damage to a Lantern, but I don't recall how much a Thunderbolt does. Thunderbolt's doing 35, so about a third damage. That's fairly easy to remember. The Thunderbolt is a third, Hydro Pump's a half. And really, what you have to do, you there, sitting on the couch, is just remember all these numbers. You might have to watch the video a couple of times to just get the numbers, memorized, and so you can like recall them in the heat of the battle. Because there's a lot of numbers to remember. Okay, so we get off the next Leaf Blade. Are they going to shield? They do. No, don't shield, you idiot! Oh, but then again, you know, I probably did need a shield, to be honest, because both Ninetales and Dugong are gonna take forever to KO just that little bit of HP on that Lantern. So maybe I did need a shield there, just so I can make sure to get that Lantern out of the way. But then, yeah, losing that shield means I'm wide open to Sudowoodo, so I'm in a shitty situation no matter what I do here. Probably best thing to do would have been to, well, fire the Leaf Blade earlier for a start. Oh, no, actually, no, sorry, because I didn't have that Leaf Blade ready when they threw the Thunderbolt, eh? Yeah, I did. Hang on, no. Yeah, I did have a Leaf Blade ready. Oh, hang on. This is way earlier in the battle. Man. I should be more prepared. Yeah, and then I throw the Leaf Blade there. I'm basically wondering if I let them in by not throwing the Leaf Blade straight away when I had it. But no, I was nowhere close to a Leaf Blade. But then what that does allow me to do is build up extra energy to, like, that Sudowoodo is not going to want to get hit by a Leaf Blade. So that's something we actually should have taken a look at. Sudowoodo, which some people are using. It's I've actually got the stats here. Hang on. Sudowoodo. 3% of people are using it, and I mean, it's the low usage suggests it's not a good Pokemon, but it's one of those Pokemon that, like, if you can bring it and make it work, it has some very good matchups against some key Pokemon. So Sudowoodo against Shiftry, we want. A Leaf Blade is doing 70% damage. The counters are each doing 11 damage. So that is a heck of a lot. But yeah, that one I don't know if like one Leaf Blade plus Snarls will be enough. I think you might need to hit them with the second Leaf Blade, which is very problematic. Maybe if you were running Bullet Seed, that might not be a problem, but please do not use Bullet Seed Bullet Seed Shiftry just for the Sudowoodo matchup. Snarl is better against Hypno, it is better against Driftblim. Bullet Seed is much worse against Talonflame. You're missing out on so much more by running Bullet Seed than you are Snarl. So yeah, I build up the extra energy here so I can threaten the Sudowoodo with the Leaf Blade when it comes back in. Maybe could have even farmed up another one. I'm not sure what the count was on that Lantern's energy. And that thing is going to be gone very quickly after it fires the Leaf Blade. Now Shiftry's gone, so we don't really care what gets thrown out here. We do have the Overheat ready, which is gonna hurt. Overheat is a fire equivalent of Brave Bird. That's what I'm looking for. Overheat is a fire equivalent of Brave Bird, and then she happens to just have this team that massively hard counters me. Oh, I mean, to be fair, that Ferrothorn is only a hard counter to the Dugong. The Ninetales and the Shiftry both beat it comfortably, so good on her for being able to match the Ferrothorn up against my Dugong. But yeah, I'm in just so much pain here. And really, Sudowoodo wins CMP? I don't think I would have had her if I'd managed to get that off, but yeah, it looks like Pseudo just wins CMP. That could be IV dependent as well. Probably is IV dependent. And then a Weather Ball does 20%, so yeah, it would have survived. So yeah, that's it. That's the battles. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of what Shiftry is capable of and not as capable of. If you've got suggestions that you want to put, if you've got suggestions, put them into the comments. It's getting later in the month now, so might not be doing any more videos about Prismatic Cup, but hit me up on one of these channels here when the next arena meta is announced, and we can start getting the ball rolling on looking at meta picks for the next cup. And remember to like that video. I'll see you next time.